We're not very interested in working with companies that are sort of at the compliance level. Like if they're just doing what has to be done, that's not particularly exciting. We want the companies that have an authentic commitment to the long-term journey of sustainability. And then we want to help them figure out what that journey looks like and how to get there. And Caesars is sort of the perfect example, I think, of the clients we like working with, because they tap into all the pieces of our business.
But I am impressed by the fact that the company is so generous in giving in terms of what we do as our own community. So if you look at the volunteer programs, every supervisor and up around the country is asked to participate in volunteer boards or give X number of hours per quarter. And you connect that to the environmental side, the fact that we have had no resistance and just a lot of positive intent and cooperation when our top-down strategy came down was, I guess it's highly unusual to have that level of collaboration.
So when Gwen and Caesars and Saatchi started working together, she came to us with this amazing program called CodeGreen. And then she said, but we need this to mean something to consumers. So we did what we call our discovery process and sort of figuring this out, and we came back to her with what now feels like a very obvious conclusion, which was people who are at a bachelorette party in Las Vegas and there to gamble and party and have fun don't care about carbon. The end. That was sort of it. But that didn't answer the question. The question was, okay, they don't care, but that still doesn't answer the question of how are we going to get them to care. We came up with a strategy, which is now being implemented in some of the properties, that we called the Quiet Surround, which was to continue to do all the work that Caesars was doing with CodeGreen and communicate it in a much subtler way so that the guest who really does care, because they do exist, has an opportunity to learn what they want to learn through some clues and cues that are in the properties. And those who are there just to have a good time may not be interested in learning more, but they're still getting the benefit of the work that Caesars is doing by creating this environment that is a little bit healthier and better for the world.
I mean, our marketers would love to find ways to sell space to advertisers in the casino itself. I mean, so you're constantly going through this. If they're not doing it for another way to get more revenue, how do we get airtime in the casino floor? So there's a lot of different touch points that Annie's group had helped us to come across. Everything from a button that would be highlighting a environmentally friendly feature on lighting or recycling. That's often a question when it's our customers. It's, are you doing anything? Because I don't see any recycling bins front of house. It's, we recycle everything. We sort through trash back of house. And that's these, little signs that tell the customer what we're doing, recycling back of house. Everything from there to pre and post visits, we're incorporating much more around into our existing mechanisms. So the last thing you want to tell a marketer is, let's create another mechanism for all the, the 10 channels or what have you that we're communicating through. So it's tagging on these subtle messages on a direct mail piece as we're trying to move more to email or website or meetings and convention business, these touch points. And you have to constantly look at ways to refresh it, but in a big way, heavily educate your marketers on what you're trying to achieve. And it's not all about the optics. It's about supporting the larger program behind the scenes.
The brands we work with now, a lot of them will say, well, our consumers don't want it. They haven't indicated through research and polling and everything else that they want this stuff. And our response is, who cares if they want it? You, as an organization, need to be ahead of your consumers because you're going to be out of business if you don't, and you're not doing what you need to do as an organization. So Caesars is doing what it needs to do as a leading company and helping its consumers understand the benefits of that in a way that's really on brand in terms of the experience you have when you're in a property.